me again with another one of my stories. I guess you're gonna say when it's gonna end. It's me again. Well, if you use on my comment page and you could tell me that, there's something that you would like me to talk about, I will do research on it and I will talk to you about it as best I can, because a lot of people say they can't go on and on and on talking like I do, but what can I say? What can I say? Okay. Well, this is about asking for mercy. hmm Sometimes we have to do that. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Well, I used to work from 9 to 5 at Con Edison, and then on some days of the week I would go to Marble Collegiate Church. It's a very rich church on 29th Street. Yeah, 29th Street and Fifth Avenue. Yeah, Marble Collegiate Church. Dr. Kelly Andrews there. And Donald Trump and Marla Maples got married there, and Liza Minnelli got married there. Whatever. But there was a lot of people at the church that had a lot of money. I tell you, they had a lot of money. I didn't. But it was a nice church and it was nice going there. After the service, they would give you like coffee and cookies, homemade cookies and tea, juice. And they had a nice lunch. You get for $8, you get a whole lot of stuff for $8. And people start bringing everybody from the neighborhood in there and everybody up in there, whatever. And you get all you want like a buffet. Then they closed it down. I think they were losing money. I don't know. Well, anyway, I used to go there sometime. It was a nice church. They had like a helpline, the outreach community to help people in the community. And I think they went up in Harlem one time and they gave a graduating a little kindergarten class. They said if you stay in school and graduate, your college will be paid for. That's one of the things that they did. That you could go to for them. Well, I used to go to Marble Collegiate Church on Fifth Avenue and 29th Street to work the TTY machine. That's for the deaf. I used to put like a thing up my ear and I could listen to them because when they type into you, they're typing and it's coming up and you're looking like this. And you're reading what the deaf person is saying. And then they're telling you to call a person that can hear. So I had the phone on my head and I would look at what they were writing, typing me, and then I would call the hearing person who was that they wanted to contact with. And I would talk to them. The TTY machines to help the deaf. And I had 6 children at home at the time, my 2 children. And then my sister had sent me her for to help her out from Detroit, Michigan, until she found a place to stay. Although my children were in private school and well disciplined, I allowed my sister to send her children to stay with me for 6 months. They were older and used to the streets. I was afraid they were going to corrupt my children because they were older. So I used to pray and talk to them a lot, and I used to pray to God to help me with the situation. I always pray. I don't know. I'm always praying. I know God get tired of me, but I always pray. One day after work, I went to do some volunteer work for Marble Collegiate Church. After I got off work at Congress, and I would go there, I think twice a week. Go there. Yeah, I worked there from 6 to 9. I would listen to the deaf when they typed in their complaints or situation to me, and then I would call the hearing person to tell the situation. And many times the hearing person would say, "Oh, that dummy again! I don't want to talk to that dummy." So how can I type back to the deaf person what the hearing person had said? I couldn't do that. I'm a very compassionate person. So what I would do is just tell the person that they weren't home, and that I was telling them about a situation that I had that was similar to their situation, and hope that and I would tell them what I did to solve my problem. And so I developed a close bond with these people, and I started to feel very close to them. You know, oh boy, had no desire to communicate. It was terrible the way they treated them. I mean, everybody is human. I don't know why people are so mean. That dummy, how dare them? Oh my God, I felt so bad. Comfort, I always give a comfort. So anyway, I would tell the deaf that I had their similar problems. They started to like me. They started to look forward to me coming on the line. They wanted to talk to me. This one night, after one of these sessions, after the 9 o'clock, I um I decided to walk home. I decided to walk home to my 6 children. I was surprised all of a sudden. I'm walking along by this deserted street. around 29th Street, Broadway, around 29th Street, there's a lot of merchants there in the daytime, but at night it's totally deserted and it's dark. I was on my way home. I was surprised by a stranger, like he just jumped from the ceiling of a low building down in front of me. He's about 6'3", tall, slender, black guy, and he just stood in front of me and looked down at me with piercing black eyes. And I knew I was at this man's mercy. Good, what could I do? Yeah, I'm a young woman, and like I say, small. I can't fight. I can't fight nobody. I can't fight nobody. I don't have no gun or knife. I'm just there. Nobody was around. No police, no people walking the street. Nothing but darkness. That's why I don't like the darkness. I don't like the darkness. I don't like to be out at night. And I said to the man, I was shaking and trembling. I said, "What do you want, sir? What's the matter? What could I do to help you?" He just kept staring at me, looking down. Knew that I was his prey. Because what could I do? But who gonna help you? What could I do? I was at, some people, I guess he felt like very powerful at this time because he had the power. He's in the position to have the power. I didn't have any. That's for sure. I was shaking and trembling. I said to the man, "Look, I have 6 children at home that I have to get home to." And I said, I don't know what would happen to them if something happened to me. I said, "I don't have any money." I opened my pocketbook up. I showed the man I had a sandwich and I had a piece of fruit. I told him he could have that, but that's all I have. Oh boy, and I felt all alone. I was deserted and I felt all alone. This tall man, about 6'3", leaped from the building somewhere and stood in front of me. And I said, "You want a sandwich?" No. He just looked at me. He didn't say nothing, so I figured it was no. I said, "I don't have no money. And please don't hurt me. If something was to happen to me, what happened to my children?" I asked in a trembling voice, "Well, what do you want, sir? What do you want? What do you want?" He said nothing. He was about 30 years old with dark, piercing eyes. He just stared at me. It was cold outside too, and I had on a long cape I had made with a blue cape, and I had like a nursing pin on me. I had a nursing care on it. I said, "I have 6 children at home, and I have to take care of them, and they're looking for me to give them dinner." He continued to stare. I said, "I don't have any money, but I have a sandwich and everything. If you want that in my bag, what could I do? What could I do?" By this time, my knees were weaker and shaking, and I was shaking too. And my voice was getting lower and lower and lower. I was scared out of my wits. I didn't know what to do. I hope nobody ever get in that position again because I have heard some horror stories of other people that was in that same predicament and some terrible things happened to them. You know what I mean? I know my girlfriend was coming home one time and she had just got to the hospital with some operation, down there. And she met this man and he forced her with a knife to go into a deserted building. And she she was so nervous. He put some kind of a stick or something. He couldn't rape her because he probably was impotent. But he used some object and oh my God, I felt so sorry for him. She was telling me the story. I just felt too much full of anxiety, you know. Finally, through the mercy of God, he said, "Oh, get out of here. Go, get out of here." Boy, I went without looking back. I quit my volunteer position at Marble Collegiate Church. They were known for having a helpline throughout the community, and I think they should have sent me home in a cab, but they didn't. This is a rich church, but you'd be surprised where they donate their money to. They donated to a lot of good causes, but they didn't donate nothing to me. And I tell you, I was so glad to get out of there. I told them I'm quitting. I ain't coming back here no more. That church was so rich that one time I just went there because they had a nice service and a beautiful organ. Oh my God, they had a beautiful, like a Vincent Peale out in California with the Crystal Palace. Oh man, organ. When you hear that organ, it was so nice. Then they had a beautiful choir. So sometimes, although I'm Catholic, I would just go there to church and just sit and listen to the service. It was very good. And another thing about this church, I think it was a non-denominational. They didn't have long services. Sometimes when people invite me to their church, they go on and on all day. I don't like that. I didn't like that. So they had like the service about an hour, which is fine with me. Or if you go to an hour and a half, that's fine. And take up one collection, not a collection all day. And I was at the church at Marble Collegiate, and I had owed this girl $10, and I hadn't paid her. So when the collection basket came by, I gave her 10. I said, "Here's your $10." She thought I wanted her to put it in the basket, so she put the $10 in the basket. And then after they finished collecting up the collection in my row, I say, "Wow, you're really generous with the church. You're giving them $10." She said, "That wasn't my $10." I said, "That wasn't my $10. That was the $10 that I owed you." She, "Oh, you should have told me. You should have told me. I wouldn't have put the $10 in the church." I did. I did. But I didn't go back there anymore, and I just felt very bad. I felt very bad about the whole situation because I really enjoyed helping the people, but I had to, my home comes first, and I was just very sad that day. One time I went to that church, like I said, and I just sat down, and this lady came to me and she said, "You can't sit there because I said, "Why not?" She said, "Because it belongs to somebody." I say, "Who?" They just belong to somebody. You can't sit there. I said, "Oh well, there's rich people and they're rich people, and I guess they probably gave a lot of big donations to the church or something. They could stake their claims or what have you. I don't know. But some people, to them, religion means one thing to them, and it means something else to me. I think you should have a pure heart and examine yourself.